Okay. Hmm. Back it up. Come on. Oh, okay. All right. So, I need a bit of a timing. I mean, could you, could you type something and then I say it and then you'll tell me what's the delay? All right, test. What was that? Huh? It's fine. It's fine. 5 seconds is much better than like what? Half a minute last time I actually streamed. That's neat. Okay, I can work with that. Now I just need to test the frame rate because it was it was an issue last time I streamed. So let's see if that improved. Let's start the game. Uh, I need I guess a task manager to see how loaded my CPU is. If I'm missing anything. Oh no, it's actually like 12%, 11% on the CPU. That's pretty good. Alright. I just need to hang on. Okay. Those are good numbers. Okay. How's the gameplay looking, I guess? Let me maximize this thing. Oh. Finally it's good. Alright, thank you, man. Oops. Okay. I guess I could actually do some dev streams now. I'm not sure about the heavier stuff like Substance Painter. It's really heavy on like resources. Used to crash on the old PC all the time. I'm not sure how could I stream it. I guess I could try it out. Some of the heaviest models. Hang on. Let me just launch that one. Alright. Now let me see which model is the heaviest. I guess I could go for... let's go with one of the... Yeah, this guy. I have lots of materials on this guy. Oh, he's loading. He's loading. So, yeah. How's that looking? I guess. Hang on, let me just rotate it for a little bit. Okay. I mean, it's not gonna be that resource heavy. It's more like processing of the effects that may cause a bunch of stutter, I guess. Okay. Well, let me disable this filter. Yeah, it's not too bad, I hope. So I could do some modeling, some texture painting. That's fine. Yeah, let me see the CPU usage here. Oh no, it's still low. It's like at what 20 in general, I guess. But this is like a VRAM hog of a program, so and even VRAM is looking pretty fine. 25%. That's okay. I can work with that. All right. So I guess we're all good. I guess we could actually work on something. Okay. So let me see what I need to do. Actually, I have a list. A list of stuff I need to do, like more or less every single day. But I've been kind of falling behind. Uh, my CPU, well, it's GPU. It's 4060 actually, the base model. It's not that good, but then again, it's much better than the RX 570. Also, the base model, it's a 4 gig one. I guess that's why the Substance was choking in the first place. Oh, okay. And for the CPU, I have like R5 560. 5600, I mean. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty decent like card, but when it comes to work, uh, the Adobe products prefer NVIDIA stuff, NVIDIA hardware, and I guess that's also contributed to countless crashing. My goodness, what didn't I do to mitigate those crashes? I made a custom autosave script that basically saved manually like every minute until that was terrible, but now I could actually work on something. Well, for a couple of years, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you kind of get paranoid, really. Okay, so I guess we're good on this front. Could actually do some work now. It's pretty neat. Okay, so I might actually like show you how the game is set up. Show a bunch of scripts, and this will probably be like the first dev stream when I actually do something and not just show things around. Okay. Well, first of all, a new add menu. You could even disable it if you want to. If you're like the immersive type. Change the colors too. There is a bit of a bug. Like not everything is getting updated, but this will get fixed when you like quit to the main menu or change tabs. Though that's not always the case. All right. There's a bunch of colors. I was thinking about maybe making custom colors. Actually, to be honest, I had like a secondary config that was supported by the editor when that was still in the making. There you could customize the colors by itself. Not really RGB sliders, no. It's more like yeah, RGB, but you only put them as values. Like there's no slider in the menu. Well, I guess this is good enough, though I may introduce a bunch of CVARs that will allow you to change the color of the HUD on your preferred one. Yeah, that would be nice. So, yeah, let's start a new game. Damn it, why do they still do this? I guess I need to like work on spatial audio a bit. Maybe introduce some like clipping surfaces that prevent certain audio from being played or heard by audio listener. Oh hey, yeah, you could record Freeman's Mind with this setup, although you do need to disable the captions. I mean, they do nothing. They don't see me now. Now they do. Oh, okay. Get the subtitles here. So, yeah. So what else? What else? Yeah, it's actually, I don't know. I wasn't actually planning to do anything today. It's been a rough day. It's been pretty odd, and I got really tired. I'll just say that. I was planning to do some like prop modeling, but now when I'm kind of thinking about that, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. So yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess that's fixed. So there's a bit of a bug that's been going around that if you if the enemies see you and then you reload the game, so they're still going to set you as enemy, even though you basically teleport to another place. So as soon as the game loads, they are engaging you, even though you have been moved to another place. All right. So I'm gonna have to do this check. Here I'm getting the list of all the enemies. Like I have a list of all the bad guys in here somewhere. Hang on, let me check it. Okay, game core. Spawn characters. Here are all the NPCs on the map. Instead of just iterating through all the characters, all the objects in the game to find the NPCs, I just have this one list. It's much faster that way. So here I'm getting all the guys in this radius from the aiming head position. All the enemies have the aiming component, which basically, okay, where's your head? Here. Okay, here's all of my components. Okay. On the NPC. Where is this? Where is this? Object aiming. Yes, here it is. Here's the head component. So they are casting all the rays. They are attacking through here basically. So as long as you can see their head, they basically can attack. They're not actually shooting from the gun, because you could actually get much closer than the gun itself. So the collider doesn't help. They're just going to shoot right through you, basically, if that makes sense. Or like shoot from like inside the collider, your collider. So here's a bunch of components on this, on the head, basically, to be used when the ragdoll hits. Okay. I'm not sure I want to know this really. Okay. So this check occurs like every second, and it iterates only through like at the maximum 80 objects, which I know sounds terrible, but the alternative is it will iterate through like 3k objects every second, and it's random. I implemented this random check because I don't want the game to like stutter constantly, or like you know, consistently. Yes. So basically, yeah. Here I'm checking if it's if the character is basically itself, then I'm skipping. Here's the object. We're checking for the FOV. If not, we go skip it. Here we are checking if the health is not null. And here's the fun part. I actually, for the raycasting, I used to check for the layers, like if the raycast to target from like this aiming position, like in the head, if the NPC could actually see its target, but that seemed to be costly, so I implemented a different check. So if I'm hitting not the target, but if I'm hitting the default, the target skips. So it goes on the list. It only uses like one mask. It's much more efficient that way. You don't need to account for the props, for other entities. If it hits default, which is like world geometry, static geometry, then it skips. If it hits the props, it's gonna like consider you as visible. Okay. Now we're just adding this to the list and checking for the distance, and we're all good. We had the target. All right. Let's actually go over something a bit more different. I've been struggling with this stuff for a very long time. It's the player movement. How difficult the movement is in the gold source. Like, can you understand that? I expect it to be like really different, and half the time you would have no idea how to do it. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Well, I was trying to like follow it for a while, and yes, of course, yes, I lost it. I lost it too. So instead, I have this system. Oh yeah, yeah. That sounds really complicated. So yeah, let's start here, I guess. So got a bunch of events on kill. They do something funky with the colliders, mostly. Here I get the layer mask. It basically means that I'm... Yeah, you probably know what the layer masks are, right? What the raycast can hit and stuff. Well, I'm setting them out like through here and not through the inspector, because recently I've changed the layer order. Basically, it means that the collision between layers they have been shifted. So instead, I resorted to using this text like variants. This one will get me a layer mask based on the names of the layers. I know it sounds complicated, but it kind of provides the visual representation. Like, I don't know at the moment what layer 21 or 20 like stand for, but I see get me layer mask including the layer of default, and I know immediately. NPC, props, player bounds. Yeah, it gets me exactly what I need, and it gives a good representation. So, oh, I do everything in fixed update for the most part, everything physics related. So get values, what do I do here? So I'm just getting the rigid body. rigid body stats and giving them like a float value so that I could reuse them later. Not saying RB something, RB velocity, RB magnitude, RB position, and so on. And here's the interesting part, the box casting. So I've been struggling with this for a long time, and I think I finally got this. So previously I used like individual raycasts, a combination of raycasts, like an array, but it's like really inefficient. So now I basically do this. It creates a box of a defined size, like under the player, and it has created off of the of the bottom of the player collider. So I could basically detect what's underneath the player, and I could extend this box casting, this box cast, so the player could detect, like if you're going down the slope, you'll eventually start like hopping off the slope if you don't have this thing. It extends just a lot more so that it could bring your position down and create the smooth motion basically. So here I'm checking if the game's paused, if the player so oh yeah, kind of do. Wait, you don't have that in Gold Source? I mean, yeah, that's an old engine, but I come to admire it more and more with the time, you know. Sure, it's an old engine, you could say that, but for the time it was a really impressive piece of tech. It's hard not to get impressed. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Well, it's great that they still managed to create a great game, even with these limitations. Maybe in spite of them, or maybe thanks to them. I don't know. I watched a couple of videos on Quake, and yeah, the map they pull there is like really impressive. Let's just say it's very efficient. It's really fast too. Yeah. Okay. Oh, but by the way, have you seen the project like Quake in 13 kilobytes? My jaw dropped. I mean, I'm not a stranger to like really well done stuff, like in really small file sizes. The demo scenes are like a huge inspiration to me, basically. It's like the pinnacle of compression of the algorithms. Yeah, what they do in like 4 kilobytes of data is mind blowing. And to think the guy managed to compress Quake even in the blockiest of states to 30 kilobytes, that's just insane. How That's out of this world, and the best part of the programming is basically overcoming, finding a challenge for yourself and overcoming it. This is the pinnacle of programming to me. Oh yeah. Okay. So I guess. Oh. So I have basically the static box cast size, but if the player is moving like really fast over here, then the box gets extended to make sure that the player does not clip through the surface. It's a hard-coded solution, but it does the job. Saved me through like I don't know how many times I didn't die when I should have. Well, yeah, apparently it did not. Like the player had such a big speed that it did not detect the collision in time, even if my box cast, which was already like long enough, it still clipped through. So I'm adding extra units here, and here we are doing a bit of a box cast here, and since it's going to be true most of the times, I cannot use the inverse physics box cast, which I did with the layers for the most part, like in the census menu. Alright, so I'm checking for the position, I'm checking, I'm adding a bit of a height to it so that it doesn't like start from the player's position directly, if that makes sense. So that, I mean, it has a bit of a space here. So we multiply that by the ground gas scale, which is like 0.4, 0.5 units. It's not really all that much. So the direction is vector down. We're looking for the hit. This one will return a hit. So default position, default rotation. Here's the length and the layer mask for this. Okay, good enough. So first, we're gonna be doing a lot of hit object manipulation. So declaring obj here. Okay, normal of the hit of the box cast here. Normal gravity, which is something I didn't originally account for. Basically inverts the normal y value so that we could use it when sliding. And basically the hit point over here. Okay, first we're going to check the normal of well, the angle of the normal, basically. If you could stand on the surface, if it's too steep, then we're going to call for a slide over here. And we cannot call the slide on any other layer than 0, basically default. I use it when I know that the value is like set. I use 0 instead of using my layers function or text layers. It's faster that way, basically. So if not, we're just going to add a bit of a value to our slide, basically using this normal. If not, we're just going to set slope to default and slide the vector to null. So V slide and the V acceleration, I'm not sure you could see the V acceleration from here. Now it's a different. Well, that's basically what we are adding to our rigid body, feeding it every fixed update, basically. So if grounded or is not grounded, if it's not grounded and then it detects something, then we're just gonna shake our head low as if the player is damaged. Maybe he's not damaged, but that will be decided by the velocity over here. If the damage is too high, a different animation will play. Like if you get 8, maybe 10 damage, then you just shake his head low. If more, then there'll be a different animation. Basically, it's the same in the source, I think. So we're just setting our movement modes. if a bunch of booleans are enabled, we're setting it to a different mode. Okay, hang on, I need to do something. All right. Okay, so here we are storing our object, and if it's different, there's a little of a check over here. Just saying this. Here I have a bunch of. Hang on. Oh, yeah. I was just a little bit busy. I'm sorry. No, I was doing it manually. There's no like hardware error. It's all intentional. All right. So here I have a bit of a something special. So what I'm using for all of the like geometry of the props is the object surface. It's right here. I'm basically getting this component through this ground object component, game object, I mean. And there's a bunch of events that I need to trigger, like on footstep. Yes, I could do that now. I could actually make a ricochet game thanks to this component and this event. So I'm just getting my friction. If the velocity, well, I guess it's yeah, it's okay. So if the velocity is around 0, I want to trigger the landing and want to play the footsteps at the max volume basically, and trigger the event on generic component. Okay, so now I'm just this function triggers if the elevation of the player has changed since the last frame. Now I'm just basically adjusting the player, and yeah, as you could see, I'm not really using the gravity over here. I know, it's weird, but once the player is grounded, he's basically floating. If he's not saying anything, and the box casting, if the box casting is enabled, then you're just gonna fall. I hope that makes sense. I just don't want when the gravity is enabled and the box casting is on, the player jerks around basically down and up, and this function is working all the time. I don't want that. I want the player to move smoothly without any unnecessary velocity changes, or So here I do a bit of a jump buffering. You could, if you press the space in midair, you could actually buffer the jump, but it will get cancelled like after a certain time, in case you did it on accident. And here I'm doing, so if the box cast detects nothing, then the player is obviously falling, and I need to enable the gravity, cancel the ground objects, and set this grounded to false. Okay, we are done with the ground casting. Now we're just checking for the ceiling cast. It's the same thing, but for your head, basically. I'm checking if you could crouch to uncrouch. It's in the same call, but it's much more much simpler, I guess. So if we're paused, if the collision is enabled, because I don't want that to be triggered when you are no clipping, I'm just doing the same call. Basically, I have a ceiling cast height set for here. Basically, the same as here. Ground cast height. Basically the same kind of check, but the box cast goes up instead. And if the player is docked, so it only triggers when the player is docked. Yeah, if he's not, no, nothing changes. Is dock locked gets turned on. That means that the player cannot uncrouch. I'm not sure how it is done in Gold Source, but I'm sure it's something similar, I guess. So, okay, this is more of an interesting function that, you know, I think it could use a bit of comments. Because right now I'm trying to get in this thing and I'm kind of confused. Yeah, why didn't I put more comments in? Even though I'm just working on this project for myself, you know, it would certainly help getting like into that headspace when I was making it. Okay, so here's how we are actually applying acceleration. So first we're getting look rotation, basically where the player is looking in Euler angles, basically vector 3. We're getting the movement nodes. So the horizontal movement basically means that the player can move on X and Z axes, while the vertical means it can only move on Y. This one is used for no clipping, where basically you could move vertically too, or fly mode, I guess. And the horizontal is used for basic walking. We combine these two for no clip. So now we are getting the rotation in which we move the player. So if the vertical is on, then we are getting the rotation that look Y and look X. Basically rotation of the camera, except for the Z-axis, which is roll. We don't need the roll, right? It's always 0. And here we are only using the look Y, which is basically just the vector up rotation. I could have done that too. So here we go with acceleration to target, which is rotation by input vector. The input vector is it's vector 2. If the forward value is 1, for example, then the first is 1. If it's going backwards, then it's -1. And if it's going left to right, then the second value is either 1 or -1. So we are getting the normalized, basically, input value with rotation, and now we're multiplying that by the speed target, which is... Oh, I cannot do this, I'm afraid. So the speed target, I use source values. Basically, it multiplies it by 0.022. It's an easy to remember number, you know. It provides a pretty good conversion of like Unity stuff. I mean, source stuff, like scaled down to Unity, based on my game in particular. I mean, yeah, I'm still using source stuff, so so it's roughly the same. I mean, I'm not sure. Why do I wait? Why is the ladder here? I'm not sure it should be here. It's using one of these three. Swimming too. Okay. So I'm basically changing the values based on your movement mode. And that's what we got here. So now we need to find out if the input vector is like 0 or not, then we're using the acceleration or deceleration scale. These two are different, so yeah. So now we're basically trying to figure out what mode are we in right now. So this one, like I said, if we combine the two, it basically means we're no clipping. If horizontal now and vertical and grounded, then we do it as walking. And if horizontal and no vertical and is grounded is null, then we're jumping. Yeah, I know, it seems a bit convoluted, but so what do we got? We got the acceleration target that we got for here. Provides normalized input vector based on rotation, and now we are multiplying it by the speed value. So that means around like 320 if you're running. This is that, and velocity global is our global velocity. So we are subtracting our current velocity from the velocity that we need to get. So for example, if you have like 320, the magnitude of 320, and you have a velocity of 260, then that will be 60. That's basically your accelerate value. So we're multiplying it by this one, which is weird. I like when you experiment on something that seems right, even though that doesn't technically make sense. That's exactly the case. Why do I multiply it twice here? We do it here and here. And we multiply it by scale. So this creates an abnormally large value, which we actually feed to the rigid body through the fixed time. So we do it gradually, basically. Oh boy. And that is only for the no-clip. Here we are adding friction, speed target, again, scale, and the slope value, which we mentioned before. So it's here it's 1, here it's a bit less than 1, so it might go actually the slightly different way, or it might go backwards, basically, if you're trying to climb a steep slope. So here we are in midair, and our acceleration has been kind of nerfed so that you wouldn't go really that far. And here, if you're going slow enough, like 12 units per second, you could actually brake in midair. But I mean, if you're getting launched, then yeah, you'll not be able to like stop on a dime. Like if something launches you, you won't be able to brake. But if you jump yourself at full speed, then yeah, you could. That's the sole reason. No, not really stop, but basically like have his ability to accelerate as much. I'm still using this function to basically see on the ground you get this one is the global value. It's your actual magnitude of the rigid body, the speed you're actually going. This is the target. It'll actually slow you down a little, if that makes sense. So you won't go over the limit. No ABH, I'm afraid. Oh, and this one is actually really, really funky. Yeah. Here, basically, how should I put it? So you lose the ability to move horizontally here, and I am changing the direction, like rotating the direction of motion here. I know, it seems weird too. I did it experimentally, so I don't truly know how it works either, but it just works so far. So here I'm getting a new rotation. I'm making sure that the A and D do nothing. That's the X value. Oh, the X is... Wait, what? Why would... Oh, okay, then never mind. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, but that works somehow. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just messing with the math here. I'm not sure it works either. Like I said, I probably need to document this stuff when I realize what it does. Okay, this one basically does nothing, I guess. Yeah. Don't touch it is the right call. But yeah, I seriously need to get to just writing the comments, or at least say, hey, stupid, don't touch this thing, it'll break stuff. I guess that's appropriate. So I am finally yeah, TF2 is right. Yeah, I seen these comments in the leaked code. Still haunt me every day, in a way. Okay, so I'm just feeding the acceleration and the slide using fixed delta time, which will basically reduce it to 0.02, around that value. And now we are basically saying if the horizontal or vertical movement is enabled, because if either are disabled, then basically we don't want this value to be affected by this method. And we're setting this light to 0 because why not? Because the box casting may actually not trigger like on the next frame. In case the player is in midair, there's obviously no box cast, and the this slide is, yeah, you know. So on kill we do this thing, duck scale, duck offset for the camera, eye height, and we'll set the game over to true, so that the player cannot move and stuff. Was it a different reason? I think I'm checking for the game over for the QF method, I guess. Maybe that's just one of the features that stayed. Oh, okay. I was going to go through a bunch of object code. So object surface. This is actually really interesting. This is what I add on a lot of interactable surfaces. Like let me give me an example. So this geometry, it's the whole level. It has an object surface. Here there's the footsteps, sound bank. I use sound banks, which is basically an array of sounds. One for collision, if something collides with it, or it collides. Actually, it collides, not something. If it collides with something, I'll play this sound bank. If something is shooting this object, play this sound, and if something is hitting it with the crowbar, it plays this sound bank. That's a bit different, right? Usually they kinda use the same sound bank, although in certain cases I do make the differentiation. Like here, we're using the shot metal alt sound bank, which is a different one to use the crowbar. So for this static geometry, I use decals. Unfortunately, they are just static planes for the time being. I may switch to a better decal system, like the projected decals, because let's be honest, it kind of looks bad. Also, for the objects that cannot have a decal, like these guys. Let me see. Can I? No, I cannot. Damn it. So yeah. This one has an object surface still, but he's not static, and he has a decal. Why so? I am checking every time I'm hitting this object on an NPC, that an object that cannot have decals. I'm basically creating a pass-through decal. So when I hit this part of the body, it will generate the ray. Using the ray, it will generate the decal over here. The blood decal. That's basically how I do it. Yeah, as much as I would love model decals, I'm afraid that's a bit of a, that's a bit complicated for me, I guess. Yeah, don't tell me, but I do need to change these rigid body, colliders and their like joint positions, because the rigid bodies and the ragdoll itself is quite stiff, as you may have noticed. I was just using the default rigger component to get this result, and then basically tweaked up the joints. Okay, here we have a bunch of particles. What? Oh, of course. So this one plays when you step on something, this one plays if it collides with something itself, and not the other stuff. I mean, this is old. I don't use the drag anymore, so it cannot do this, I'm afraid, now. I should probably remove this, but it's a legacy stuff. And here's the particle when I shoot things. So yeah, it's the organic human particle. Now here's something interesting. Here's a bunch of values over here: the penetration, the friction, and thickness. Penetration I use for the weapons that could actually penetrate things, like the Magnum and I think AR2. They can basically shoot through this object. At the value of 0, it cannot shoot at the object. At the value of 1, it will shoot at like 50% HP, and the value of 2, it will basically like penetrate this object, deal the amount of damage, then it'll shoot the next object behind it and then deal damage. But that's where it ends. It will not go through the third object, otherwise it will be very expensive. Well, the friction. I mean, the friction is the friction. What do you say? Let me see. Actually, does the friction work? I wonder. Here, I set it to 0. If it doesn't, wait, it doesn't work. What? I remember. I remember the time when I used to slide when just touching this. Oh, now I do. Now I do slide. I just needed to jump, I guess. Ah, I see. So when I jump, the ground object gets nullified, and the new parameters are updated. So let me set it to 0.5. Update that. And now I'm sliding. Let me set it to 0.1. Jump again. Okay, I'm having a harder time to accelerate. Yeah, this would definitely be useful when creating icy terrain. And then there is a thing called thickness. Well, previously, I mean, that's a bit of a leftover actually. Previously, the walls could, when the sun plays, the walls could actually reduce the volume of the alert that the enemies get triggered by. So, for example, if there's a wall here and that like has a thickness of 1, then the enemies behind it won't hear a thing, but it has like a thickness of 0, then they will. But it kind of seemed difficult, so it's kind of there, but only for legacy purposes, I guess. Don't touch the things or they will break. Yeah, like that. Let me set it to 1 again. I mean, why does it matter? I'm still gonna reload. So this is what I have on all of my objects that I want to interact with. But here's the thing. Previously, I used to spawn all of these objects, but now they're all here. I have the decals. Well, they are basically empty decals, but I changed the material over here. Then set the size and let them go. I have the particles. They have a pretty good number of like max particles here. Oh, hello, what's up? How you doing? Hi, dude. So here I have the particles that don't spawn, but they are basically moved every time I need something to be played at certain location. Oh, how are you? I'm good. I'm okay. How about you? You doing fine? So here's the particles. We got the audio, the UI effects. We have like 7 audio effects that I play every time. Impacts, the same amount. Hits just a bit more because that channel, like, it gets a lot more audio effects, like in general. Footsteps only 8 again. Explosions only 8 again. Though. Oh, I see. Oh yeah. It must be really late for you. Like, yeah. Right, take care, man. I'll just keep streaming if you want. You could just check the VOD. I'm probably not going to hide it or anything. Or maybe I will. I don't know. All right. Take care, man. Oh, oh yeah. That's late. All right. Have a good one. Okay. So we got the sounds, the decals. All right. Take care. See ya. So yeah, I'm not actually like trying to spawn in anything anymore because the Unity chugs a lot. when spawning stuff. So instead I'm just using the item pools, basically. Actually, in the latest build, you could compare the difference with the smashing the crate versus smashing the crate in this build, because back then I was not using the item pooling, so it used to like chug a bit, like half a second. You could see it in the video when I was trying to smash a bunch of crates, and then the item gets spawned. But yeah, now just have these items, only 4 of them. Yeah, I know that's not much, but they will get regenerated, or maybe even, maybe I could even clone some of them if it is needed. And I do need to have them here so that the player loves the game. They are all tagged here, so they will be placed exactly where the player saved. Well, I can say that I tried Gold Source. Yeah, I did have some experience with Gold Source. I had some experience with Quake, like Quake 2. I used to map for this game. But I cannot say that I did some Source stuff. Well, I did a bunch of maps for testing purposes, basically. There's a bunch of older videos that have me running the same maps in Source and Quarter Fraction. So I just needed to see how well it compares, and the answer is not too well. But yeah, I did try that. I did, and well, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world, but yeah, it was definitely painful. Well, learning anything is painful, so I don't know how it compares to like Unity stuff. To someone modding Source games, I guess it will be easier than just starting up a new game engine and trying to learn it from scratch. Learning the programming when you have an engine that you could just, place a bunch of nodes in, place a bunch of entities, create brushes, and you're done. You have a new map. You have basically a new mod. Then there's a bunch of, stuff you can edit on the outside, and you can make it pretty. And here you kind of have to do it on your own. Everything is up to you, but the downside is everything is up to you, basically. I know it. That doesn't make sense, but it kind of does in a way. You get to make everything, but how well it works, it's only limited by your skills. So if you're kind of bad at this, you're gonna make bad stuff. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So, damn it. I need to do something about this thing. You see, usually, like, you'd be able to just play the map, but instead I cannot do that because all the initialization stuff goes in the menu scene, and now I need to constantly switch between the scenes in order to like test the game. Exit out of the map. I mean, you did this again. Oh yeah, I need to enable the HUD, sorry. Wait, why you orange? Okay, that's fine. So, okay. I hope that answers your question. Well, I did have some experience with Source, some experience with Gold Source, and oh, we have an OG here, I see. The air gun. Yeah, I like that one. It was, how should I put it? I kind of make this model as a joke and to say, hey, why not? Why not just make it into the game? Like, give it a rocket launcher code, but also remove the fire rate, so that you could spam it as fast as you can, basically. I'm not sure if this weapon would ever appear, but so far I don't really have any debug weapons. What you get is basically what I have as well. But who knows? Maybe if I like get a really hard boss that I want to make, maybe that will make a return. I'm definitely not opposed to it though. That would be fun, if anything. And then again, that will be a reference to Hunt Down the Freeman. If you remember correctly, like in one of the City 17 maps, there was a Metro Cop that was just holding an error gun. I swear that was not a reference to that. That came up entirely on its own. I didn't even know Hunt Down the Freeman had that. Oh yeah, it's so nice when it's not lagging. Like previously there was a delay when you shoot the crate and then it pops out the item. Not anymore. Oh yeah. I mean, this might not be gold source, but as you can see, physics are still wonky. Remember the meme of the ragdoll sounds just getting clipped. I mean, if a person is stuck on the wall, he'll just continuously hit the wall and create a lot of ragdoll sound effects. I may not have ragdoll sound effects anymore, but the objects do get stuck in the wall and create other sounds constantly. That still happens here too. That is not intentional. That's just my bad programming skills, I guess. Oof. Yeah, they could definitely use some work. Oh yeah, I need to add the sound effect for this one. Skipping. And the button for this, because so far it's unknown whether or not the field is down. I need something visual like over here maybe. Alright, do you wanna ask anything else? Wait, what the... What? What did I just do? I think there is a barrel on this side and I... How did I do this? Hang on, I need to check this real quick. Do I even check for this? Take object pickup. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that later, I'm afraid. Or just comment the code. It's always the same with me. Forget the code stuff. And when I'm looking what is going wrong, I cannot figure this out because I'm in a different state of mind compared to when I wrote this thing. Yeah. But hey, now you get to see how my gravity gun works, I guess. Only 433 lines of code. Which is actually, compared to the old one, it's much more efficient. It was like 600. Okay. You know what? I think I'll be like, okay. Uh, an overpowered gravity gun. Huh. Hmm. Like, I honestly, when it comes to ideas like this, I, I'd think, where would I even like? How would I even do that in the story? Is there like a place where I could do that, or will it be like the repetition of Half-Life 2, and uh, will it have the same impact on the player? You know, I'm not sure. And do I have the time for this? I do plan to have this game released this year, around November, maybe December. But if I keep going and just doing the features willy-nilly, I'm not sure I'll be able to do it. So I need to kind of focus and unfortunately say no to a bunch of stuff. Well, at least for now. At least for now, the post-game support is still on the map, so I may do that. I may do that, but I most definitely won't be doing this like any time this year. I just say this year. Next year, maybe, maybe. But yeah, this overpowered gravity gun thing, it was like an event that Half-Life 2 has, should I say? And I'm not sure if I could top that, if it would have the same effect on the player. I do have something similar in mind, though. It won't be with like the gravity gun, but a different kind of weapon. I don't really spoil that much, you know. But I do have a bunch of my own like moments. Not sure if they could stick up to the blue gravity gun, but yeah, yeah. Sorry, I've been rambling for a while. All right, I think this was a pretty good stream, all things considered. I hope it's fine. Jeez, imagine finally be able to stream stuff and the end result not being like 2 FPS video. That is terrible. I'm telling you, I had a pretty bad PC last time I tried to stream things. Oh yeah, yeah. But don't tell that to Todd friggin' Howard. Don't tell that to him. All right, so yeah, I think I'm just going to end the stream now. Thing is, this stream is primarily for just testing this new PC that I got. If I could run stuff, if I could work on things, and so far the answer is yes. So maybe in the future I could do a bunch of dev streams, get a bunch of people, maybe create a VC chat, and just talk about stuff. That'll be much better than just chatting like here, where you have delays or where you need to wait, or need to type stuff. I'm not sure. Maybe that's best. Maybe. Alright, so I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming. I will hopefully stream soon again. If not, there will be a video or a bunch of videos, hopefully. I still need to showcase a bunch of new props that I've made. I'm seeing like the last video I'm seeing in this stream. Alright, okay. bye and take care. Thank you for coming again once again. All right. See you. Bye. Take care.